tumi nyina era ne era de o ona de nyina ye dan no ehu ye mobo man na de pache e was the PSC bi ona ye de be ma no se ne de bia ye ka no ona odon ho to no so awani mu nkogu ase pe ma mi chia mi nia no mo tie ye one more ma me fo no mo market one more tna trotro mo taxis man ope omutie dodo na akra nim nya asase ye na ye bia se bia akwanya ne yenya minchia woso aduma pa obo edema man Ghana
se wanya post na wan kanjre
na bi post be na nse bibia ne hono ma men kanjre
ese me ti e black frame yo se no we ye communication aid kase pa and am say but one kanjre mo se dey we post akoso we ye communication aid and I'm say sir no say and I'm say
well no crap so ya beda era Dr. Mamudu Bawumia akonyo de amaye say yamboane entoto no amaye for the campaign. In fact, so far so good. Ufa obia say still maintain. Obia say for Dr. Mamudu Bawumia mbra. Obia say papa no hojo. Odo na Prince of Peace. Say ya tamus if you want to asasumdwe hina Bawumia is the Prince of Peace. Ade oye na say election no course na sonkofo ani. Ye nam dwuma ye ko ba bia ye bo aproba ya ma mefo ni bebre ni apapafo even the youth kura kasa mon for Bawumia mbra. Ono no ba obetumi abo MPP ma ye wi ni power no. No kre achi Ghana na kasa na eduru ba bia eso obi kono obi ba. Na ye toto ni ama ye. Achi hwe the way Dr. Mamudu Bawumia anka oni Ghana no ekwa akura na nanke so hu sanka Ghana baba ya krabehwe pa dachi asia me wo hono ma homachi me light adum me dia me dana service every me nya condition am ntimi ndaw ozade am kire ne ehuhuro me kire so me da homachi be 2 o'clock hono na me light dum ye na me fa me phone na me call ECG app no so straight me Vodafone cash krana sikani na me kwatwe bi from bank eba Vodafone cash so no tell me use Vodafone de ba Vodafone cash na me kwato app no na hiampo se me sori afi mi mpemo me boy na pa me use ECG app no pan me toya na me light na so tini papa say Ghana for say empeno na hwan bio me dadem anka first na dachi na nka ese me yene sanka me dam pemu a me hwa dem ya bia anka mintumi ndabiu na nka bobe 7 o'clock kura me nya vendor because prepaid for no momba 7 omo ba 8 o'clock anopa me boa na so me dam pem na me ye dem me ye ami mo another example na see ami hu shoe be online na ya me fe pa ese dachi me order ya no mo se me fa me GPS post enshim Ghana post once or my Ghana digital address bi me di shame 100 number me wo hono ma motor rider frame me also wedru we afi krampo so ma order mpaboa say I wedru then o say I order mpaboa ye de aba say hwe o ma wura ma hu ba bia meti just by digital address system that's it enti papay ba bia na nkone e kono eye baby e be matimamufuo nyina na bibia ba omo so omo pe soft life Gen Z so omo ba obi anu won mo omo pe hard life omo nyina pe soft life na soft life the originator of soft life na nkasa na Dr. Mamudu Bawumia cause u for digital ya koya wi ase afa na nyina honum na obi akọ dachi anka na doctor tinaso a ana Ghana for to bana anka na ya the credit score na ba Kamenu says see am no ka say iPhone 17 ebusi okoba bia to say Vodafone na MTN na almost je because 1 omo Ghana card number 2 ometumi attrack baby out adanu ni hanum na president be ka kire say obi obekasa bia nya papa bia na omo nim baby out so system no one buy Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia through Yera Edubu Ahen.
But when you now when you know and Ghana for
Ghana for Antias, I don't know to Hanoma me catch us at this time who speed or highway in this one. Or to me, it's a no ticket, electronic ticket.
Yes.
So that time I
yes, into the Abano. In fact, after that conversation, there have been so many conversations.
Right.
Let's put it on record, any. In Crawford Frere,
yes,
they had their consent about it.
Yes.
Me ko DVLA ko di san common o DVLA.
Right.
DVLA for say the air course no your friend traffic tech.
Okay.
Traffic tech is not linked to DVLA.
Okay.
I feel no person o mo ye but o mo nyanye.
Okay.
Enti what is it is that traffic tech no dey ewokrum. Enti the message na police for send them out no.
Yeah.
Those who say ya send a message no, you say caution. Na so be do DVLA na ye je uska no mo se nya no kure. In fact, ye ne DVLA for di nkomo me ba ha no ma ba.
But so who baga no e ka kire so ko hono ma ba.
Yes, apparently no DVLA for say.
Yes.
There are so many infractions that driver for no. Omo ankasa che mo ntia bia wo car wo kwa. Na say bia wa ye tinted da. O metumi atwa o picture. DVLA staff bia metumi atwa wo car no. Number plate no pa no send it or send it ecosystem no and you not taking it as infraction anytime bia we ba so ba be renewal bia flag or so to me try that penalty and it may be amount but it is not the traffic tech only traffic tech and more running your friends say test no
to pilot
pilot
and you say na me try say
but then person me clear that scanner no
okay sir me patch say Sir and Romea Abbas is here. You're a Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no na diaba. It's linked. It's a system that is built. Emma uma uhu baby at memfu new baby obi ayeden. Etna. What in American say? Now, into say abani baby out here. Dache se kana opesa uko Toyota Ghana na uko kojia. Near Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia no can say sa credit score system nanka ebano. Omuni baby out no. It is very hard to say ukoji sa car ni we ni etu nkakra from pay slipper. Obeka se wu dwane. Nyameka what you say. So mobile phone na opese uko Vodafone na ukokoji a. Wonu mo tu nkakra ebeya din so obeka se wu dwane. Se efie na opese ukoji na omutua nkakra omutu nkakra ebeya din so obeka so yen. So that system was being built by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The next chapter no was to send omoye was South Africa no. Obia enkofa sika kese emfa se or try no akwa akoto 45 color 45-inch color TV. Near Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na say sisi a waye Ghana card. Yenim baby a Ghana 40 omutumi track movement and na wotna ha and na wo sha ha wo ye omupe watchwa omuni baby ombeba abefa. Instead of so this has kapudu ni nyina kwa akoto sa 45 color inch no. Omo spread them out to send omo ye wa abuchire no. Na nkomonto kakran bia 5 years, 10 years. No omo nya dey, omo nya yi na omonto.
Enti in this question so they can track the primaries na sana.
Exactly. Yes. And I make
say primaries e mo ahye pa o.
Primaries ne de no kranya me no mo ahye. Ne mu hye ahye no. Eye kasa bi ni ndada bi abinmu peso omode dada nkofo
kasa bi ni ndada
bi abinmu peso omode nkofo na kasa bi ti say sebe obi tumi catch roll say ono ne de wanya position bia na wonu mo omunya position ni nyina Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia nkofo na position omunya ni nyina no omamboa efomfo ba wo ye businessman kwa ECG contractor wo koje ya abantu ya wo no over $625 million. Saska ni nyina ba bi du ho no. Saska no nti saska na wunya no. Udi bie enwuma na wo de fa MPP grassroots na why bone. Ana wo de fa Ghana for mebu a why bone. That's the very thing that you are talking about no. Aban who say wo sebe o yera Kennedy Japan. Oboa ma MPP ba power. Ye ba ye we gave you all the juicy contractor. Ebetumi ama ho hia on se ne be ya wo be hwe from me because you are known as the grassroots man. Sa sika ne ade nyina ogigi nyina no. Wan fam bie ndwuma ama efomfo. Osi ye ma ne kwa no medi MPP nanim na ye ma ne kwa ma ne be di MPP nanim a oba obebie ndwuma e de amante bemufo na ska bebre we mpa nya cedi so we dollars ECG contractor ye de ma o koko rose
wa bie ndwuma organ
wa bie ndwuma yes it is wa bie ndwuma wa ndwuma nya MPP na o ne oko kasa bia ankoyeye na e ma ye ko lose ye no
ne kasa na o kasa ya
oh yes kasa ne ka ho ne ye lose ye obi
so anche fertilizer anche na musumu lose ye
oh of course nti sanu ama ni nyina anti Dr. Mahmoud Ba obi den oye ya ye obetimi akasa e ma ye lose
nti ono wa anya hwe
den oye cat me bi so asem almost ma make some natural ye mistake 2020 after you winning 2020 election no what we say your parliamentary seat ni ade ni nyina reduce here your vote so te here osafuma for report no okay kai osafuma for report ne ka kire say going into the 2024 election we must correct the 2020 infractions.
And it's a man correct.
Yes, and we tell you lose 2024.
But all these people were big ships of the party.
So
now mo connect meeting, Indian meeting. Now Dr. Baumia, the president then.
Look, I am telling you, sir, there are a lot of things that Baumia, you winning election year, and he was sidelined, and I'm not afraid to say it.
He was sidelined.
Oh, of course,
from the party,
from governance, as the economic head of the want to say maybe Canadian your friends want to about to say Ken Ofoyata were sometimes were even instructed not to do certain things, but it's answer na ni omo override Baumia decisions. Omo override Baumia decisions. Into normal people one ma SML say he was he advised Ken Ofoyata not to go after SML. Kene won say maybe ababa. He left Yikrampono, he dissent. But say your boss buona, your bebo account because you are part. Omon kase, wo ye ko see akonyano. Wo de no ka say, wugina biuni. Omo ka, ombeka wafra, say wo ka ho no omo kotena wonom. But oman kyeremu ye a, omo kan kyere Ghana for say asemi a ye call ye say ye no mudi ye nyina afra de but eba ni nchichemu a because for cabinet no ye bisa obia view one by one into majority no in a beteki decision no ye make no what I say into ye nya 3-2 a ye 5 na 2 echo this side na 3 bad this side na still omo ka make us a 5 ni nyina na go take decision but on a vote count no it was the majority that did what did
the
decision or voted on two need your mood dissent.
But you feel say in the question will lose 2024 election no?
Yes,
the candidate now within the election no, has no blemish.
No. I'm not. It wasn't part of the research. Your research now, no on religious whatever. You're Dr. Mahmoud Baumia will be an say. Sorry, on your corrupt. He was never.
Is it not the reason? I was saying report and babonting, so that everybody can look at the report and digest it properly.
I mean, the right stakeholders have digested it. So, because which report and up to now I'm out, and this is for the way I'm fast to do Lucy 2016 election.
Mamma Amantana Kwaba. Bokode.
Traffic no war flower pot and your friend saying Atomic Junction and Yagro and it's not a chief from Fanchami. Now, me buy so no matter to say Benghazi car Dr. Bamia was more internal party issues. Well, whether the goat or the sheep, but they all have hair. Whether I'm the Dr. Bamia bow, or the branch on board, Kenya Pombo. What Ghanaians penny say, economy, no, we should manage it well. These were a collective of people. Omu ina kabomu, ya de o mine share omunsa say omu manage country ni maye. Ya de o mine share Dr. Baumiansa, and o ka say, kene Japan be boano, branch Japan be boano, educum omu be boano, and omu ina ebu o mine, omu kowe ya. That will be a titia pansan. So I can confidently say, sir, there is not even one competent person that can leave this country in the MPP.
Hey.
When it comes to MPP, no, there's no one competent or obi ayede Ghana ebesa ashenesa or MPP mu.
Dr. Bawumia.
But then we can say me as we sit here, MPP for. I would encourage you people say munko to abama Dr. Bawumia. If for nothing at all, the way OPA or Obeji 2 mu and 10 say abano wa Lucy wawe inti enunkwano or this peaceful atmosphere no ebaye because 2024 election was one of the elections na during say tension be wo pa because you heard the voices of Lord Comey and the rest that they are not going to hand power to NDC, they are not going to leave power for NDC today, they are not going to leave power for MPD. Even President Akufo-Addo and Kasa no can say that one person be jai power my. But at least we had Dr. Bawumia who behaved very peacefully and behaving in a nationalistic manner, in a nationalistic manner, and oba in temp. At the expense of uncall for no musi men content tobo, but he knew that looking at the data, in fact, looking at the fundamental data, now grassroots in the bano, and aggressive or more to polling agents, the polling stations in the bano, on one who said the fundamental was weak, and so the top honor be exposing. So it was exposing him, so he had to come out and come and say well loose. But then don't come in munina President Akufo-Addo munina si men peniso tobo na yen hwe be say metumi wi aba no a, but he came out and then he was able to declare say oh well Lucy inti well congratulating his Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and that brought the country situation, the tense situation in this country.
And also the man so kaya mo na mo ni na mo bubu nkrofo omo train
ba form am I who say oh na asumje aka Ghana nyina. So if for nothing at all, we know that former Vice President Dr. Bawumia has been so peaceful when it comes to issues of saying the Oji-Tumu or election no. But among the Brian Champon Bow, we know that President Mahama is managing the economy well. As we speak now, Enra, I think Fetch, Amo report be Amo say by 2026 the dollar rate will still be around 11 point something thereabout. So if it is true, now it means maintaining the physical discipline the way it is anymore. I'm not sure that NPP would even want to contest the election because I also saw a report was it yesterday. I don't know whether it is increment of salary and I say minimum wage. You know, good minimum wage.
Minimum wage is risen to
21 cities. Exactly. So all these things in Puntu. And then the living standard of the people that we want to lift for the people of Ghana to know, say, at least you have suffered under His Excellency Dr. Bawumia and as the economic management team boss and President Akufo-Addo, you have suffered under his regime. In fact, the certificate of survival now, Yekojin or Malik Basintali, at least we need to present that certificate of survival. To His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and also and one fast or day or they sa impuntu we airbrain. Now the fuel is at the reduced price. And let me tell one of these your sister radio stations, City. Now Omar Sanda, he was talking about Obia why and kakra because the fuel prices now fuel are not to the free circle and now Accra area or Edukon home. Now it was about 400 Ghana or so, whatever. It has reduced drastically. The dollar has reduced, items has reduced. I believe that very soon Benghazi can say because of the rate of the dollar, he will be buying a new car. Okay, there may be whether, like I said earlier on, whether they bring the goat or they bring the sheep. More hey. So
Amantana. Ubia ni hono mo when this more apart from the Mahama, Sir John Kwa will be to me Bawumia.
You see,
Ubia ni hono no new candidate.
Let me tell you.
The only person who bet me a BT Bawumia and John Mahama no so na
No, let me tell you something.
Do you know that? Do you know
that Ghana Ghana ha.
With the level of statesmanship. Where's BT? Mr. Wonam Jomo Honoma, Amami Phone Catcher, some more about Yambra because I say one corner. Yeah, no. Obey the Ababu. Where we so where we in the term. Where we in the term. Maybe I'm in the term.
Maybe I know I amend the constitution.
On to me, I amend the constitution. I entrenched. It wouldn't be that easy for him. And to me, you see. And yet, it wouldn't be that easy. The only person now. Say Obi, this new NDC candidate to be an Obi.
That's it. Ghana hire one. Don't forget that Dr. Bawumia was a leader of the economic management team and the Ghana. You see, Ghana, our problem is the economy, not even the law. That's why we are not always seeking for a lawyer to come in. That is why we try. Say all the time, anybody that is choosing a rally mate. Sometimes, mostly, a lot of the people are Ghanaians in Bibrenaka say, let's choose an economist. Let's choose an economist. Despite the fact that any economist in Kwanebe vice president and you're just like today as we speak, we don't have an economist as our vice president, but in Yoma Kosuye, more than what happened. So Ghanaians, we vote for ideologies. We don't vote for personality. If it was personality, Anke Ebinumumbe than a president, and President Kufuor crying than a president, it will Ghana ha. Because his personality was not appealing, the way he talks was not appealing, everything of his was not appealing. But the ideologies of the buy, that was what convinced Ghanaians to go and vote for them. So the ideologies of NDC is to stabilize the economy. Are we stabilizing the economy or not? Currently, we are stabilizing the economy. Into economy needs stabilizing, that means that anybody, respectfully, because anybody, not just go and pick anybody as in anybody, but anybody that believes in the ideology of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, not better His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, I can tell you, say, but Dr. Bawumia will get 28% in the next election.
But I say, yeah, call Parliament and what happened in Parliament? Vetting of the Chief Justice.
Yes.
And what they acquire, no whom say.
First of all, Mecca said, the course of Parliament, was a total following of your laws. The standing order of Parliament was duly followed. Just that some people decided that they want to distract the activities of Parliament. They had to distract the activities of the vetting of the Chief Justice, but Nyamiadum and Timi. Because when you intentionally, you know the rules and regulations, you know the law, you know the standing orders. Now, what you say, because you can twist languages into what say, what if baby, that will distract the process now. People will not sit down. People also know the law and they know the standing orders. Then they see what he I think you're making say he used a word like this, that the embattled or what disputed good. The disputed nominee. What is disputed about him?
No, it's not disputed.
No, what is disputed about him?
There's a case pending at him on.
Which case is pending? Please. Do you know that even in injunction, obi the injunction a place at Yeswa, the court can still give you the go ahead to go on with the procedure and with the process. It's in the laws. When they realize that case now what they ban, it is just to distract the process. The act no more, your act is just to distract the process now. The court will tell that, despite the fact that there's an injunction, but you can go ahead to do it because near only pakrode ban obi ode nipa no de injunction the case ni emu nyedu. But then, because of the rule of law in this country, we will not throw it away. We will go ahead to judge it. But you will not say, legitimately, plot of land with media, me consider also obi the injunction abeto so. Yako court na who say plot na media, but the person is still putting an injunction on it. The court will never throw that injunction away. But the court knowing that the merits favors, the issues favors the real owner of the plot. No be catch us so na ya wajuma whilst we sit on the matter. It happens. So that is what happened in Parliament yesterday. He talked about opacity. That the committee na juma na moye it was done in opacity. Me bisa ada moye na wajoma bedroom ana. Committee juma na moye no moye joma bedroom. And I'm in that in bedroom. And I'm in bedroom. They did it at an opening place that you yourself came and announced to it. In fact, that place no muye no krano. Former President Akufo-Addo has said and went to renovate that place, and saw it as a national asset. So what is it that you say that it was done in opacity? In any case at all, if it was really done in opacity, did the law say omonfa sa same way be here omonfa meto radio so TV so na obian hu ana? Was that what the law says? The committee only followed the process. You see, the process of removing the process of removing Chief Justice and the former Chief Justice, was improper. What was improper? We were expecting, say, once he was reading the statement, Obeka said, President Mama bridged this section of the law, and now committee bridged this section of the law. You see, the intellectual dishonesty. When you know the thing and you intentionally behave as because of the crowd surrounding you, you will follow the masses, you will not speak the truth. You see, which aspect of the law in the constitution and now LIB and His Excellency John Dramani one faso? Which aspect of the law and a committee on one faso? They followed all the procedures. If it comes to injunction, the law gives us the chance, say, there could be an injunction on a matter, but then you can still go ahead to proceed with the matter when the court realizes that it doesn't have any merit to halt the process.
But the gravamen of their case is just one, that there is a case pending in court. Mm-hmm. Which case, if judgment is delivered on that case, mm-hmm. it could turn the decision. So today, if you go court and as a court, you can say, oh, the procedures are fast, so you the Chief Justice near the other no. In some no, it is not supposed to be done. And so the court recommend that the embattled Chief Justice and the former Chief Justice be reinstated. Now say, oh, the Chief Justice for so that do you reverse the status quo?
Debbie Ayameka, you are an aspiring lawyer. I believe you have learned some of these things. Lawyers has an act. Behavior be. Anytime there is a matter pending, they have a way of delaying the process. And the process is that they look at the administrative nature of it, then they deal with the administrative nature of it. So administrative nature, no more cumulative time, leaving the substantive matter. Tell me, the lady no or the assembly court, former chief does not do assembly court. What is the government of the case? Which of them? And they bridge the constitution and they bridge laws, Which of them? She is talking about administrative processes. So administrative processes should halt the nation, right? Don't forget that this was the same lady that went to ECOWAS and told ECOWAS, say, I want man $100 million. For what? You see? Yeah, money for your business. Already, President Akufo-Addo, and she supported President Akufo-Addo, the effort or Yaumu. That lady supported President Akufo-Addo or the effort or Yaumu. You remember the time I said Parliament? This e-levy thing, you remember? I'm going to call court. In fact, the matter itself was that minority, then led by Haruna Idrusu, they went and said they voted against e-levy. The majority came out and said that they don't have the numbers to vote against it, so it's null and void. They went to court, and the lady said, yes, it is null and void. The majority came to Parliament without the minority. They also came and voted. They did not also have the numbers, When they went to court, the same court, Honorable Haruna Idrusu went to court on the same matter, said, most of them need the same numbers, The lady told Ghanaians, say, at that point in time, we needed money. The country was in distress. And so we should allow the e-levy to go. Because the law lies in the bosom of the court. She determined, say, Ghana, we should go to that cruelty. When fuel prices were skyrocketing. Spare parts were skyrocketing. Dollar was skyrocketing. na mo san de burden bi ilevi abetu ma me abrewa no odafie nu me manya misika kakra ma ko hozel akotwa me bet akonya misika no wo san say wo beji ilevi also the woman supported it. That one no, what happened to it? So such a person today President Mama is following the rules of the courts. He's following the enacted rules like what your 1992 constitution no. Oh dear, you are. We say administrative processes. What are we doing of administrative processes? And you know it actually. So this is how lawyers does to slow down the progress of a country. The lady is simply trying to slow down the progress of this country. Anything she's doing now is backed by less law. It has no gravity to make sure, say, yes, we're in any chief justice. So all those things Afenyomakin was raising in parliament, I see them to be very bogus. Bogus. They weren't fit for standard. Oba se obeyina no mfuturo atwatwe na amanfo atie. Look, there is no anywhere sympathy nowhere for minority because you have mismanaged this country. If you on one kasa no wo ECG hono, omo disika e hye ne pass ma do kofie. Today, such a person comes and says he thinks that he can come and be talking about quoting Shakespeare's utterance book what Shakespeare books. Look, we will not go by that tangentry. We are focused as a country. We are making sure that things goes well. Now, making sure say what the Ghanaian people need from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. You remember Ghanaians.
That's it.
All the laws are pointing out that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going through the right laws and regulations now, or the Jumano. But in any case at all, wasn't it the same Afenyomakin, Honorable Afenyomakin? Oh no, BBC Kakrebi must go to court. No, wasn't it the same person? Wasn't it the same MPP group that was saying that anytime a BBC must go to court? No, we're doing the same people. And then what is wrong with the court? If you have an issue, do you have to come and saying it at your friends a vetting in ceremony now we cast issues? If you have an issue, what is the court there doing? In fact, the court now eternal hall train will say what they will send back. Then they will give you the justice you need.
Yeah, that's it.
So the court is simply there. Why is it that Afenyomakin does not want to go to the court, but rather wants to come and distract the activities of the vetting of the Chief Justice? No,
that's it.
Pass through that level, and the majority leader catch and look. Papa no wa bien kasa.
That's it.
Honorable Mahama Yarga wa bien kasa. We kasa law na. Yeah. And yet, kwa internet mudi sa majority leader no man no. Who say ojina parliament no kasa? What mean say obey phone ye?
Benghazi. I mean to obey answer na no. We why have seen in car we was a good morning boss. Tell Benghazi that he should talk about the party and not Bawumia.
Why flattered? It's good. He has a dissenting opinion, and that's fine. Look, something is currently happening in the hospitals. She says, so unim say, you know, Casas is all health records at what hospitals has been erased. 5 years health records be our hospital for the past 5 years now. The medical records has been erased. Because of sir limbs any games or sedans and seminar air courses anonym. And so doctors do not have past medical records of patients as we talk, which is very dangerous. Oko Konfanochi, Oko Bebia, Kolebu, Oko Interbetin was Central Region, Oko Tamale Teaching Hospital, and no doctor has access to medical records of patients. I mean, no cases here. Into Sebio, Yawa tetanus last year. Someone said tetanus in Yawa. To me, it has to be within a certain frame as an Yawa view. Into doctor no only medical records no. How then does he prescribe drugs for you? Into your best health minister no, sa impasse na abano. Omo no omo resolve it. Because the diagram kofo bebre eba bewu because of this thing. That doctors are not getting access to medical records because of limbs and some seminar air cosono. Into your best some pen function or form and form. Or my shani and shani, we are going to lose a lot of lives. Kofo bebre na ne bewu. Because doctor now be sure you know who say folder nie doctor baako and our previous doctors are not show nie where nie wo health line history nie see there is no folder that seeks to show say wo health line history nie nti aba sana ama doctors phone adwuma na ayede any folder na you see this time of hospital akofa folder bra no first na bibia e wo computer so doctor no kotena so a ohun ne ekoso but mo ba yi me hu ne omo ya omama sa you know santa wanta no mo hwe no mo so look and now what happened at parliament no ne fa bi na ye ne fa bi nso nye na me de ne ameka ne say parliament ewo honom say wonom be veti CJ nominees as enshrined in the constitution parliament who come so one of the standing orders in a year juma meboa nti say ofre obi say embra meye emani open remarks he has the right to see whatever he wants to see by guided by the standing orders true or false now yankai article 103 of the 1992 constitution na minia amanta na so betumi akan ama me anka be me de because wona out brofo wona oye law ewo ahanum sisi a article 103 am I yet here say when it comes to committees that are formed now their conduct should be with openness and respect of diverse perspective. Nyameka no what you say?
What's article 1?
Article 103. 103 no. Emma oh that be I'm reading from a source. But I've quoted there, you know, won't you say I read the 103.
Article 103.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of.
Or say Article 103 establishes the parliament.
Right.
States that Parliament shall appoint standing and other committees to carry out its functions. These committees shall be responsible for investigation, inquiry into government ministers and departments, and can also propose legislation. This is Article 103. Unless maybe you are talking about 103 specific, maybe a certain clause.
Go down. So the right to form a committee was there. What you say? Minority and then the majority caucus. Make what you say. Into cut down one. It shows say it tells you say Omuye Bibiana, their business should be in openness and respect for diverse perspectives.
Which committee are you talking about? Is it the vetting committee now?
The vetting committee needs to see an American
okay,
one.
maybe that's
I don't know what we are talking about.
That's it. Maybe so as a sad vetting committee no more ye sad vet call you sad vetting no. What's the openness, right? Yes. You mentioned openness and diverse perspective, yes. Right? Good. It was your right as the minority to sit there. Now come with diverse opinions, no. About your look, it was within their mandate as a minority in parliament to sit down and vet the man. Or how bet me exhibit that diverse opinion, no. Okay. But then you don't get up and leave the vetting scene and go and sit outside and say that you want to exhibit diverse opinion. From where? Okay. Now in openness, maybe in openness, no. Openness now will box, no. Maybe so. Once again, I ask you, were they doing the vetting in President Mama's bedroom? And I don't know where vetting was President Mama hall. They were doing it in open camera. So it was open. So if you talk about openness, what are you talking about openness in this matter?
And I'm sure will say diverse opinions and that perspective as enshrined in the Constitution. Andra, at the beginning of the vetting, the atmosphere was poisoned with a lot of needless interjections.
Who caused it? Who caused it?
Watch out, please. By the majority leader, Mahama Ayariga. The whole process becomes so hostile because of Honorable Mahama Ayariga and clothed with a lot of arrogance. So he will not let Afenyomakin have his way. Certain pronouncements
here and making breach any of the standing orders.
Of course, but all the things are occurring. Did he ever cite any of the standing orders?
He did.
Oh, please.
We did.
Oh, you have your time. Oh, the fapen natural. You have your time. Just note them down. All of these interjections, there's never been any standing order or kind say, I have say na weti anasi. But Nedian say he made sure say Afenyo was not going to have his way. Look, Parliament is an arena for debate. It's a tribunal for dissenting views. And so you cannot censor people when they are dissenting now. You cannot censor them. Say, Asamna all can say.
Now, when you are dissenting, you dissent within the standing orders.
Okay.
Because
what breach they?
When he cited the standing orders and said that, look, a matter that have been determined in Parliament, the Speaker has ruled on it. You don't come and raise it again when a decision is done. Two, that when somebody is sitting before you and the person do not have the opportunity to respond to what you are saying,
you see,
it breaches the law of natural justice.
But you see, that is where you and Amantana and they are getting it wrong. Because
you are speaking the law for you, you are getting it wrong.
In opening remarks, these are all just only opening remarks. Opening remarks, you don't interject. If you have anything here as to whether or not the opening remarks was not done in the right age now. Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. Opening remarks is opening remarks. And that's exactly what we are talking about. And so the needless interjection by the majority leader and to censor Honorable Afenyo Markin as the minority leader was not right. That is what we are talking about. Look, in my own opinion, I feel the whole proceedings was very shameful, and it's good that the minority had to walk out because there's a dispute around the nominee.
There's a dispute around the nominee.
Yes.
Dispute around the nominee.
Now, and you know how can CI
say
he's being dragged before a court.
Oh, he is not before any court.
So he is not before any court.
Yes, but the questioner
dispute.
The questioner a buyer Afenyo case as part of the preliminary comment or people felt say it was what no business question. It was the first say
right
was it the acting CJ should be the one to empanel judges to sit on the case that is pending before the court.
Yes.
And that Onyanye, but he was very swift to do that of the injunction. Injunction no court. But the substantive case and also or empanel performance transfer.
Of course.
No Onyanye.
Yes.
And that question was posed to the CJ. And the CJ answered and said, look, assuming the person who is making that comment was just mere of a person, he will say, oh, maybe the person is ignorant of the whole thing. But for a lawyer to say what he's saying means that a person or cheap propaganda. Because then he as a CJ do not list cases. He only empanel people. Say, the case na say case be 20 no. Until for judges too so na judges. Until no the hands of the judges be too so no why.
Let's it
is within his time.
And I mean for Mike the Manana because I
don't because when the Mike the Mammy and
dealing with substantive issues.
Okay, Kasai.
I mean all the you were I'm on the floor, you give me the audience.
Yes, sir.
Look,
I agree.
That's it. I am saying, sir. In any case, let's get back to the opening remarks. Almost say the majority will always have their way. Minority will have their say. And if you know this at the back of your head, why wouldn't you allow the person to conclude with his opening remarks? And then there be interjections near there. And it wasn't good. And then the tonation. Afenyo is not a small boy. He has been in Parliament long over. And he's a lawyer of good standing. And so when Mahama Ayariga seems one or person to say Afenyo Markin is a small boy and he doesn't know the standing orders of Parliament, that is very shameful. In any case, if there were to be any motion on Ibiana, You would have raised any preliminary objections and but this is opening remarks. The opening remarks then on interject. Because equally, the speaker or the chair of that committee, Obia, Obama majority, no so, no time, no so I'm the opening remarks.
That is so.
Into so why what was the needless interjections for? Look, I come to Bafuboni himself, and I think yesterday he really had a bad day. And by himself, he doesn't know. If you go all over social media, they are saying, now, let's go to what they are kind. Article 296 of the 1992 Constitution.
Hey, Assembly Crowd.
Benghazi is going up and down. And they say, there are rules to be cited, and I'm citing rules. Up and down. 296 of the 1992 Constitution.
But I couldn't read you the name talk. But that's in the crash. Who say no?
103 and talk. What was the relevance? Done in openness, and that they have to.
And I mean, besides, some way or
no. But diverse perspective, what's the meaning?
Diverse perspective. Once now committee. Why would you get a diverse perspective? If
somebody is not allowing you to speak, is that diverse perspective?
Who did not allow you? People said you were leaving.
Mahama Yariga did not.
Mostly because the man was. The man.
According to the parliamentary standards, and now standing orders.
Okay.
Opening remarks.
That's your bisa question.
No, opening remarks. Let's go to 296 of the 1992 Constitution.
Let me answer the question.
That's a kind 296 of the 1992 Constitution.
Article 296.
Yes.
296.
On the use of discretionary powers.
That's in those selects. Why can't you just kind 296? Kind 296. What a kind man?
296, yes.
I'm looking for Article 296.
Yes.
293, 294, 296.
Borders on discretionary powers. Hold on.
I'm telling you that.
So Article 296, where in this Constitution or in any other law, discretionary power is being vested in any person or authority, that discretionary power shall be deemed to be implied in a due, deemed to be implied a duty to be fair and candid. Yes, that's Article 296A. B. Or say, exercise of a discretionary power shall not be arbitrary, capricious, biased, whether by resentment, prejudice, or person's dislike, and shall be accordance with the processes of law.
Thank you very much.
Which one?
Please. In the case of Atai, we all know that he was guilty. But the nominee, Bafuboni, say, for the fear of his life, Uncle Obama 30 years. But no slow say Atai no man 30 years Oba be pie ba or no Atai ebeba be kum or no Bafuboni and now will come and attack his family. Now, okay, kind 296 on discretionary powers. Is that the way to go? Say, Obia Sebisebio, yes, we all know he was an armed robber. We all know that he was guilty of the law. But based on personal fear, you gave Atai 70 years. It is so he's in breach of Article 296. And there's going to be a petition for his removal. Because the supreme laws of this land is the 1992 Constitution. It's what kind you have seen that the man hasn't been fair to Atai as a judge on the case, on a sentencing. He hasn't been candid to the Ghanaian people, and if there should be any personal dislike, it is based on this. Say, Atai na oya confront Omo sentencing you to 70 years. He was based on fear. And based how since when do we sentence people based on the judge's lifespan on this earth? Say judge not na kunya no mu no. O say Atai no. Wamano Uncle Obama 30 years but o man 70 years because no suro. Na 70 years no kura no. Aye, 70 years no kura na Atai be pie be ba no judge na ewuko. okay 296 so one near Mraneka ewo. So he has heard, and Mr. Atayi lawyers, they should petition this CJ. Say he is in breach of Article 296 because the use of discretionary powers must be fair, must be candid, not arbitrary, not capricious or biased, or any personal dislike for anybody, prejudice. Say usro, say Atayi pie eba bontia. Ono beba be kunti anka ade a wonim sanka ma ne 30 years a obetumi aboa no ma kwana reform because punishment is for reformation. So wonim sa is to deter others. What wonim sa? If say judge na tumi aye say na you can imagine Kobna Dubo ahenom a mo wa yi because kan hu say sa bafu boni ni nia bema Eugene Bafu Boni was convicted in the elsewhere government. So him sir. It is so based on this. Sa Bafu Boni to make us a minia kura mu ma ye chinu tuma. Now all MPP appointees are they no more court no mu kodu o masem no. Ono Bafu Boni as the CJ no. On share MPP fu anim. No obema o masem ye do so masem nye do. Obama makwa akɔda fiase te sɛ ne nua ne ɔmo de yɛ ne nua bɛrima na wo na wo yɛ chief justice no okoya na wo bai
dachi
Pacho, please, I'm making a substantive case here. I'm really shocked that Amantana is taking this lightly because actually be able to be a unia Jaja sabi o anko betumi ama obi 30 years ono atu na numu tuo say Atayi no usro say Atayi eba out 30 years now and go betumi aba be kunu onu ni na busuafo nti o man 70 years and you want us to sit here but once is in breach of the 1992
I don't know you would ask yourself so whether or not say the sentencing or the man no was it right in law. Second, the lawyers for Atayi at that time had the opportunity to appeal if they think say the discretionary power so exercised by the judge at that time was capricious, arbitrary.
Right.
They did not.
Okay.
They did not, maybe probably because they felt that looking at the various counter they about more clients, they couldn't have even reduced the sentences at that time. Okay. Unknowing to them that that was the mindset of the judge when he was even pronouncing the judgment.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But Sisia no judge na ba be catch we say ono no kura no within the ambit of law no anka okọ strictly to the law na anka would have been first anka 30 years na anka de be ma Atayi na anka be ye. But based on fear,
but with our criminal jurisprudence, you have every count has it is you see
no problem.
It is
no problem. No
that
problem.
You are supposed to give this person
no
13
problem.
to 25
no
years.
problem.
And so you can decide to give the person the
no problem. But Onu Ankasa is in contravention with Article 296. And Atayi, there must be justice for Atayi because say the sentencing was not in the right order.
That's it.
In fact, he could have got 30 years, but Judge you see, enam esura no surontino. But oh sentence you be a suro ni yade yade.
Never feelings in
feeling in yes and your way because 296 ama yati as say. Oh yes and your ya. You have to do it without fear or favor.
Amanda.
That's it.
Atayi e kwan bia so ese ye kwa appeal.
Now the
ese ye kwa appeal ni ye ma Atayi ba fie.
That's it. Now the MPP has become street lawyers for Atayi. Sadly. Yes, so yeah, that's sorry. Yeah, MPP now has become the street lawyers for Atayi. In fact, Enono Kurano, he has played the game of diverting the people's attention from the issue of parliamentary vetting. No, Mukoye Chief Justice, or they call Atayi. But what I want you to know, you know, say, fairness is not the law. Fairness is not the law. Fairness is not also an order.
Fairness is embedded in the law.
Please, no.
It's embedded in the law.
Fairness is not the law.
It's embedded
Fairness
in the law.
is not also an order. And so we say it would have been fair to do this does not mean that is the law.
But what What are you talking about? That fairness is not the law. Is it not because of fairness? Is it not because of fairness? And you come running.
Article 296. Article 296.
What do you mean fairness is not the law?
And this provision poses a duty, and it says, where a constitutional or any other law, where in this constitution any other law, a discretionary power is being vested in a person or on an authority. This is what he said. A discretionary power shall be deemed. Let's get away.
Yes.
Shall be deemed to imply a duty to be fair.
Good.
Discretionary power.
Good.
Discretionary power comes when there's no a law. You know that?
Yes. When there's no explicit
law.
Yes.
Was there a law or not on the issue of Atayi case? There was a law.
I agree with you that when you look at our criminal jurisprudence,
yes,
it is stated. That is why the Constitution says
of
that
course
a crime is a crime when it is stated and the punishment ascribed to it.
Absolutely. Where you use fairness, that means that there is no an explicit law. That's where you use fairness.
Yes.
But in the case of Atayi, there was an explicit law to deal with the matter. And so he is saying that, of course, with a degree of crime law or committee, he could have given him 30 years. You understand? But the law also allows him to give him 70 years. So if the law allows him to give 30 years, and the law also allows him to give, 70 years, what has he done wrong? In any case at all, and then I tell you, did not kill your father. I tell you, did not kill your grandmother. I tell you, he did not steal your property. To trust him A, B, or D, and I can even say to trust him or D because he's in court, he's in prison now for a crime committed. So I can say to trust him or D, one do be. So you have the temerity, the space of time, the space of luxury today to come and sit down here, MPP4, to defend the acts of Atayi, a hardened criminal. A hardened criminal.
So
but then you are, please, a hardened criminal. You have the act to do what? To defend his acts.
Please.
Aside from that, Benghazi, you are a street lawyer now.
But let me ask you.
Yeah, I'm coming. He's a street lawyer now. You're a street lawyer now for Atayi. Now, you being a street lawyer, wouldn't him city Atayi judges, lawyers.
But when
are you the one who knows more than them?
When a judge who has sat on the case and pronounced a sentence on somebody is out to tell us, say,
he did that.
When he was doing that case, he had a fear that, assuming without admitting that he decided if it's 25 years, he decided from 13 to he can give the person minimum of 13, maximum of maybe 25, and then he decided to give the maximum just as prescribed by law. He did so because he had a fear that if the man comes out, he could be a target.
But within the remit of what? The law.
I agree with you. I agree with you to that extent.
So,
but I'm asking you. I'm asking you that should a judge sitting on a case take that decision per law because he harbors that fear of being attacked?
The substantive matter is the law. The feelings of the person, Ankasano, does not matter. That is why you cannot use your feelings to determine a case. You use your feelings to determine a case, it is null and void. You understand? But if it is within the remit of the law, say, well, I could have sympathized with Atayi, but then this is what could happen. But my act is still within the remit of the law. There is no question about it. He is telling you his personal issue, but it is within the remit of the law that guides us. But then, you see, you are flawed on that matter when it comes to issues of Atayi. The current Chief Justice has done that. In fact, I stand on this medium to congratulate him for the yeoman's job, the yeoman's question and answers that was asked by Parliament, and he was able to answer them very excellently, fluently, clearly, according to the standard of what the Ghanaian people want.
Okay.
Now, you see, let me tell you, let me return you to the issues of the vetting Benghazi tries was shifting our attention.
You are doing that in 1 minute.
Okay, he's shifting our attention from the issue of the vetting no they are called baby for. You see, opening remarks in vetting, there is no order, there's no law that says that when a person comes, the person must give an open remarks. But then, as democratic as the vetting committee has always been, so they give the opportunity for people to give their open remarks,
So
especially the leaders.
practice.
That is by practice. You understand? Now, when you are allowed to give the open remarks, no, that does not give you an opportunity to denigrate anybody. If you want to denigrate anybody because you have been given the opportunity to give an open remarks, anybody at the committee has the right to put you to order through the chairman. That is simply what Mahama Ayariga, obeying for Mahama Ayariga. That's what he did.
You did not feel that Mahama Ayariga was so disrespected even the chairman.
How
But
did
at
he
the point in
disrespect
time, he put the microphone on and speak at will because he feels
The chairman had also allowed Afinya Makin to be designating the committee because you see, when you say that
that means that you are telling us that the chairman is not fit to be there.
When you are saying that the current Chief Justice, his matter is disputed, and it is truly disputed, and you have intelligent lawyers, members of parliament, sitting on a disputed person's matter to vet the person in or out. That means that they themselves don't know what they are doing.
But that's it.
You understand? The whole matter is that they have to tell Afinya Makin that while denigrating the person seated in front of you, you are also denigrating your own self. Which no person in Dimbeka said, who named the so no always objection to what you are saying. There's no law or any right that is given to Afinya Makin to mention those things over there.
Ombreview. Me say judge ni so the throne the man sentence. Say is throne or the years adie no. Atai lawyers ni betumi akwa appeal. Akwa say 70 years na be omo the man na doors no monye ni 60 years and now 50 years. Then we know say like we are being candid. You make what you say. Papa no say or the throne or the years adie no. But Emran say we a judge now tena kunyemu a ense se wo di suro anase ebia obi a ompe nasem onfa ma judgment o hwe ne embra ne ka no eno na wugina so na wo de dey wo de ma judgment wo de ma sentence na ebia wo ompe obi asem na nipa kro na asem aba beda court ano na se wo tena yi no so a embra ne se memfa sa nipa kro na wo ompe nasem no emfa nye den emfa nye adwuma ba hwe embra no nko a ho ne fa ye den fama judgment. And no one some na yeka.
But I say